right, here's the next one. Driving. Ready?
I don't want to answer.
2, 3. Men. I do think men drive better. I think more.
Listen here.
Yeah, talk to me first, and then I'll have a rebuttal. But
I answered that because I am fully aware that me personally, not a great driver. Such as when I texted you, you're like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "Haha, just went the wrong way in a one way."
Yep, I do remember that.
That happened 2 days ago.
Yeah. Yep.
And also, guess what? That happened like 3 weeks ago. It's a somewhat regular occurrence. I'm just like adding.
I like it. The context.
To my argument.
Right.
So I don't think that women in general are bad drivers.
Women in general.
I was like emphasizing that woman, like women plural in general.
Right. I got you. I'm trying.
I overdid it though. Sorry.
I'm here for it.
So that being said,
all right. We're good. We are good. We are rolling.
Officially rolling?
Officially rolling, but we haven't like started.
Why did my stomach just sink? I need one of my 9 beverages.
You ready for an intro?
Yeah. What is it?
I just do it and then I'll introduce you.
Okay.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Birdwatching Podcast, where we ask chicks questions to get answers for you guys. I have a very special guest today. Her name's Lindsey Peterson. How's it going?
It's good. Happy to be here. No idea what to expect.
We have a lot in store today. People can't see, but we have about 9 different beverages on the table.
Should I show them all?
Should we show them off?
Yes. This one,
Coke, Diet Coke.
This is beverage for fun.
Yeah.
Almond milk latte, beverage for
Efficiency. Effectiveness.
I would say just like caffeine and joy.
Joy.
Like inner joy.
Yep.
Water.
Sustainability.
Throat hurts a little bit, so I feel like I need to mix that in. And then the final one.
Yep.
The mystery beverage.
The mystery beverage. And it's actually our rooster review of the day. So we have Horlicks malted beverage. I think this is big in England. My sister-in-law gave it to me.
It smells like scrambled eggs.
That's not good. I don't think I made it wrong. It's like 2 steps.
We haven't tried it yet, though.
We haven't tried it yet. So it's a hot malty goodness beverage. Just add milk.
But it's not hot chocolate. It's not vanilla milk. It's
I would say
not
it's like vanilla hot chocolate is my guess of what it's going to taste like.
Which is white hot chocolate.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like that. But like Whopper.
But Whopper's the worst candy in general.
It's not a great
So it's
one.
like, let's think about the worst candy, take off the chocolate from it, melt it down into also lactate because you don't drink dairy.
Yeah. I was going to say
and
that.
see what happened. No, I saw it. You took it out of the fridge. I was like, love some hot lactate and melted down candy.
My tummy has issues with dairy. And I thought that maybe we had whole milk for you because my mom still drinks milk.
I drink almond milk. But this is my almond milk.
Oh, okay.
So now I do have 2 different types of milk.
2 different fake milks.
Yes.
So we're going to try out Horlicks right now. Knock it.
I can't.
And dock it. Make sure to give a decimal, no decimals as rookie scores.
Oh. It's not bad. I think I just got psyched out at first because it tasted... It's not good, but it's not bad. Good, not great.
Yes.
I would define it as...
I don't know if I'd say good.
To be honest, I was wildly over-exaggerating. I was like, this is good. My first sip, the initial reaction I made was my actual reaction, which is I do not like this at all.
I would say it's...
But I didn't want to be rude as a guest who you made a hot malted beverage for.
And I slaved away at it for at least a minute and a half. I think...
I think it just makes me feel weird.
It's not
inside.
bad. That's what I would say. It's not bad.
Am I going to finish it? Absolutely not.
You have way too many beverages.
When I have all 4 of my options, this is not the first.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably the 4th.
We'll keep it on deck.
I think...
It'll be 3rd on deck. Water's last because that's the one I'm least excited about.
How would you explain it, though? Because it's not really like... It doesn't taste like a Whopper.
It is
malty, though. Yes.
My palates are sensing. I just feel like it... First of all, the milk is not even close to hot enough.
No, I think we waited too long.
And after I smelled scrambled eggs, I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, that's a gross beverage to drink.
So it doesn't taste like scrambled eggs, but my brain is like... this is
eggs.
a lot like
This is eggs. We're
I was
positive.
like, it's definitely not.
No, it doesn't taste like it anymore, but it definitely
It tastes like almost like white hot chocolate that you put half a packet in, not quite enough,
Yeah.
and then almost let it sit out for 2 days and reheated it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty accurate. It doesn't taste
But
like
you left
spoiled.
it next to a plate of scrambled eggs.
Yeah, and then it absorbs some of that
Like
odor.
LaCroix. When it's like a whisper of a hint of a flavor.
It's okay. Now we're going to rate it 1 to 10, and you have to give a decimal.
I always give decimals.
Good.
You don't even have to give me that advice.
Just for the viewers.
At the same time,
No, you can go first.
4.2.
4.2.
Yes.
I'm going to say 5.3. I think it's just above average.
I think it's slightly below average,
I think that's fair.
but it's not worthy of a 3.
I think it's floating around 4 and 5.
Also, there is a chunk in mine.
Me too.
Speaking of floating around, there are things floating around in it, which did drop it down from 4.8 to 4.3.
There are some little malt balls in there, aren't there?
Mm-hmm. We're just going to switch.
I think I'm done with mine, actually.
You can have mine.
I don't think I'm going to drink yours.
We'll just. Okay, well, if you change your mind.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we usually do a beer, but it's 1 o'clock. And that felt a little early for a beer.
And I already have 6 drinks.
All right, next bit we're going to do, it's called Find My Fit. So those pictures that I sent you without much context.
Do I get a look at them?
You do.
Okay.
So we did do this first episode. This is actually the second episode of the season. But the first episode, we had technical difficulties during this segment. So you guys won't see this. So this will be the first time you've seen it. What we're going to do is it's bracket play. And there's different categories. So the different categories we're getting into today are business casual, cardigans, wrappers,
cardigans.
not the candy.
I did ask that before we were recording, and he said, "Is that a real question?"
Lindsay also doesn't know who Lil Uzi Vert is.
Hold on, pause. You said it
Continue.
so fast, and I didn't know what you were saying.
It's Lil Uzi, like Lil Uzi, A$AP Rocky, and you were like, I don't know who they are.
You said, "Oh, do you know Lil Uzi?" And I said, "Excuse you?" And then you said
actually
it again,
understood
and I said, and you were saying Lil Hosey.
Even if I was saying Lil Hosey, I think most people would be like, oh, Lil Uzi? You mean Lil Uzi?
But even though now I know what you're saying, I still don't know who that is.
I just think you should be like extremely embarrassed right now.
I just feel like I want to leave, actually. So, same page.
That's so funny. All right, so we're going to dive into it. The first category we're going to do, let's do business casual. So the first two. We got a guy, and you guys can see these. I'll put them in post. We got a guy in a red sweater. Let's talk about his fit first. How are we feeling about it?
I don't feel well.
You don't like it?
No, because here's the thing. The collared shirt under the sweater reminds me of my 8th grade science fair when I wore a collared shirt under a sweater. I'm just getting like weird. That was a rough style phase in my life. And now I'm imagining me at my science fair.
Well, this is a fit for a guy.
Yeah, but so on a guy, I'm like, it's a boy version of my science fair days. I think it's fine. Like, I wouldn't go up to someone and be like, your outfit's stupid if they're wearing
I hate
this.
that. You remind me of my 8th grade self. I hate you.
I'm like, remember when we didn't do well? I do too.
Remember we took 4th?
No, we didn't place. I worked really hard. I just think it's too preppy.
I love the pants.
The pants?
The pants are great.
I love that. But I think also the person, should I not look at the person?
Try not to. It's hard to.
I think it's just too preppy of a look.
It is
very sophisticated. They definitely have a high yield savings account. That's what I'm thinking when I see this person. Mm-hmm.
Definitely saving for retirement.
Mm-hmm. So it's not bad. I'm not gravitating towards this look.
Okay,
and there's a difference.
I actually kind of like this look. I think it's kind of clean. I don't mind the collar coming out on the top either because I didn't have a bad experience at a science fair. And I like his glasses too. I think he looks good in those glasses. You told me I couldn't
look at his face.
I know that's the tough part. I don't want you to focus on like
on him as the man.
Just like
look
attractiveness because I think sometimes we look at it and it's like, it looks good.
Oh, here's a side branch.
Would you say he's attractive?
100%.
Yeah, I would say he's very attractive.
But this is Barnes and Noble attractive.
Yeah. And that's
this is a vibe. I was at Barnes and Noble today.
A decent amount of time.
This is my latte from
That's your Barnes and Noble almond
latte.
So
when I was reading Lord of the Rings today,
right.
This would have been nice if someone like this came up and was like, Tell
Hey.
me about the book that you're reading.
And you're like, oh my gosh, I would, but I hate your outfit.
No, I think in Barnes & Noble setting, I'd be like, wow, you're a 13 out of 10. But on the street, I'm like,
So this
Not
guy
my
can
favorite.
only hang out in bookstores to pick up chicks.
It's like the image in my head is this is a perfect situation and the person I want, but only when I'm in a bookstore.
Oh, very picky. Let's
The
move
more
on.
that I'm talking out loud, I'm like, the more I want to take that back.
Let's move on to the next one. Next business casual. We got a turtleneck with some. Is that plaid? Would that be considered plaid pants?
No, it's called. I used to wear them. I used to look for them at Ann Taylor Loft when I worked
at
in
your science fairs.
No, as an adult.
I think you were a boy.
That's my boy face is a different story that we're leaving off the podcast. This is called it's not checkered and it's not plaid.
No.
It's a very specific type, and I like this pattern.
Yeah.
But it has a name to the pattern.
So you like the pants?
I do like the pants.
I like the pants. Do you like the turtleneck?
Objectively, I love turtlenecks.
Okay.
In this image, he needs 3 sizes bigger.
A little too tight?
I don't like tight turtlenecks.
I think it would look good if he had like a business vest on over top.
Something's missing because all I'm seeing is just the really tight turtleneck.
Did you see his bag?
No, because I was looking at the really tight turtleneck.
Yeah. The bag looks like
I
something.
actually love that. The grandma bag.
I was going to say, it looks like a bag that grandma would bring to the beach. And it's
It
just
looks
why
like
would you-
she had carpet that she didn't want to get rid of.
Oh,
and
so
was
she
like,
turned it into a
let
bag.
me sew it.
Yeah.
So I like the bag.
Bag's kind of cool. Does it fit him though? I guess kind of. It kind of does go with
I
it.
think it adds a little bit of flair. I love watches with any outfit.
I like the watch. And I like that you can kind of see he does have an arm tattoo, but how big is it? Who knows?
We're not supposed to look at
Yeah,
him.
you're not technically supposed to look at that. but
Stick to your rules.
He's got a great beard, which is also on.
Which is also something we're not allowed to look at.
Right.
I like the
shoes-
color.
I
I
like
love
the-
loafers.
I
though,
like
in
the
general.
shoes, but I wish he
Loafers
was
are
wearing
nice.
socks. It bugs me when people wear no socks.
I feel like one of my icks is when men wear the tiny little
Oh, the half socks?
half socks.
Like the no-shows or whatever?
and not when they wear them in general, when they take off their shoes and they're walking around in the tiny little half
I don't
socks.
like those at all.
Because I'm like, that,
A little fruity, in my opinion.
You know,
a little eccentric. I should say eccentric.
I'm just like, I can't not, like, those little tiny, it looks like they're wearing little
yeah.
delicate little.
Like a thumbtack for a
Yes.
foot.
I like loafers. I actually think socks would throw it
Thumbtack?
off.
Is that
I
what it
don't-
is?
I don't think that's what it is, but I was rolling with it.
What's the thing where you put it on your finger when you sew? A thimble, right?
I don't sew often.
Yeah. Let's look it up.
Okay.
What's a thimble?
Lil Uzi?
Is that a song by Lil Uzi Vert?
I knew it.
A thimble is a small pitted cup worn on the finger that protects it from being pricked or poked by a needle while sewing.
But you're saying socks on him? I get that you're right, but I don't get how a thimble applies to this.
Boo! I was saying the sock is like a thimble for a foot.
Oh,
Or for a
like
big
a
toe.
little cap.
Like it's just too small.
Yeah.
But it was way too drawn out. All right, so out of the two options that we're looking at, you got the Barnes & Noble man or the grandma's flower bag man. Which one is more appealing?
Outside of Barnes & Noble?
I think you got to bring that into the equation a little bit.
If I just walked out of my house and these two men were standing saying which outfit is better,
Right.
I would say turtleneck man.
Turtleneck man has a better outfit.
Yes. But
Okay.
if I walked out of my house into a Barnes & Noble and that same question was asked,
Like door to door.
yeah, I would be like,
okay.
very different answer.
So you're going turtleneck though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll go turtleneck. I would say if I was going to pick, I would have taken the red sweater guy.
Interesting.
I think it's just a little bit more my style or something that I could rock. But hey,
You tell yourself that.
this is your show. Let's move on to cardigans.
Oh, I love a good cardigan.
Let's start with the brown Mr. Rogers cardigan.
Oh, you referenced Mr. Rogers? I just talked to that the other day about someone. No idea who Mr. Rogers was.
Really?
No.
Did you know that he was Lil Uzi's cousin?
So I did hear that. But then I said, who is Lil Uzi?
Lil Uzi. I don't know him, but Mr. Rogers I do. So yeah, green pants. I actually have a pair of pants just like those.
This outfit reminds me.
That cardigan is way too tight.
That one
is
I
too
can't
tight.
focus on the clothes when I'm focusing on how the fit isn't the best for
Yeah.
them.
Try to think. I think we have to objectively think. Let's say it does fit. Well, no, because some of them fit smaller.
I think this is the style
I think
of
you
the
have to-
cardigan.
I think you have
it's
to
not
look
a
at it the way
chunky,
it is.
oversized cardigan.
Nope.
I don't like
the
this.
next one actually. So
Can I
take,
look at the next
Take a
one?
quick peek at the next one.
Love that one.
Yeah. So
That's
that
the
one's
type of cardigan I like.
right. So back to the original though. Green pants. I like the shoes. I like the shoes a lot. I actually don't mind the pants. They're definitely not my favorite pair of pants that I own, but something about that green color is kind of cool
This is what high school boys wear when they dress up.
for basketball games.
That's what it's reminding me of.
Yeah.
On the Fridays when they're like, come see us play.
Come see us at 7 p.m.
Yeah. It's gonna be a big deal.
Taking on a big team, pack charter school.
Maranatha Christian Academy.
Maranatha would kick our butts
I
in high
know,
school.
they always did.
They were good.
I like all of these items of clothing separately.
Okay.
I like the shoes. I like the pants. I think if the sweater was styled differently, it would be fine. And I
and
like
the
a
white
white
shirt
t-shirt.
underneath. Yeah, it works.
Together,
Doesn't really work.
it feels slightly juvenile.
It looks like he went into a vacuum seal and all this.
There isn't a lot of dimension going on
No.
in this. Add a texture. Add a pop of fun, an accessory.
Unbutton the cardigan. Be a little crazy.
It's really restricting.
Yeah. Feels a little too tight.
Yeah.
So then moving on to the next one, I actually think this is a good contrast because
Love this.
this one is almost, in my opinion, I think the cardigan looks a little too big. Makes his shoulders look really wide.
I don't.
I
Maybe
don't
that's
think
what he wants.
he's-
That's why I wear oversized cardigans to make my traps look bigger.
Yeah, but as a guy, it looks more like he looks like a substitute teacher or like a substitute for the library.
He does look like he wants people to think that he is cool.
Like, yeah, he went to like a decent, like he went to like Cornell.
I was just about to say
Well, I didn't
Cornell.
want to say Cornell because of the office.
Yeah, I know, and then that's why I stopped.
But-
and then I was like, I'm going to see what he's
Yeah, I
going to
know,
say because
yeah.
we're
I
thinking
was-
the same thing.
I was trying to think of like a level down from Ivy League. Like he went
Like
to
Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame's pretty prestigious though.
It is.
I was thinking more
I
like,
can't get in there.
is like Boston College prestigious?
I don't know.
Maybe not.
He looks like he went to a B+ school,
Yeah,
feels the need to chat about it often,
yeah.
but more so wants people to ask him about it. Therefore, he's like, I feel like the cardigan is going to bring this up. A little bit more feminine. Don't mind it.
If this guy walked into a Barnes & Noble, would it be like, yeah, you're cute, but I don't know if I like you like that.
It's the substitute teacher vibe is now, I can't get that out of my head.
Okay.
I like cardigans in general,
Yeah.
but I think a cardigan maybe perhaps would be more attractive if it's paired with other things. I think a cardigan's cool if you're pairing it with more like with streetwear,
Okay.
which might just be my style, and maybe I shouldn't continue to do that. So now I was like, ooh, maybe.
I wish we could have seen his shoes in this picture. You
Yeah.
can't see his shoes, but I like his pants unless they're really loose on the bottom too.
like flare.
Yeah.
Is he wearing bell bottoms?
I could actually see him wearing bell bottoms.
just to bring more attention onto
And
himself.
we're not totally sure. He might be Jewish. He might be wearing a yarmulke because
Because it's
very
cut off
tip-top.
right where it would
so
be.
we don't know.
You know, it's nothing special. You
Yeah.
can take it or leave it.
How do you compare it to shrink wrap?
Shrink wrap, I'm almost giving more points because he certainly found his style and went all in.
Yeah.
He said, how tight and plain can I be? And how can I keep this theme consistent? So I give him props. Oversized cardigan. He just wants to be loved.
And I want to love him, but
It's like it's right on paper, right? But the chemistry isn't there.
he kind of looks like a guy who you're like, this. At least I know he's a good guy. And then he pulls some frisky move, and you're like, wow, he's not even a good guy.
Yeah, the cardigans are the most deceptive. You're like, I know you're safe. You're like, wow, you really threw one.
Yeah, you threw me for a loop.
Wouldn't know.
Wasn't expecting you to lose the cardigan already.
I like keep it on. I
Just
like
the
first
cardigan?
guy.
No.
Comes in just a cardigan. That's like a signature style. Everything has to be paired with it.
What show is that with is that Friends with the naked man? Or
I've seen all of Friends, but I don't know.
or is it How I Met Your Mother? I think it's How I Met Your Mother.
I don't watch How I Met Your Mother.
Okay, there's like a bit where it's like the naked man routine. So if a girl invites you over, she goes to the bathroom, you get completely naked, and like 2 out of 3 times it works, but then 1 out of 3 times
It really
bombs.
doesn't. I'm thinking of Ross with the leather pants.
Oh yeah, no, not
When
that
he
one.
gets stuck in the
With
bathroom. Like what happened when we went to dinner and I couldn't get my bodysuit on and I got stuck for
Off,
7 to
yeah.
9 minutes.
Yeah, in the
No, I
bathroom.
couldn't get it
Oh,
on.
you couldn't get it back on. Yeah, you could unbutton it. You couldn't button
I
it back
couldn't.
up.
I was like, I just got to stay here.
And I was like, she went out the window in the bathroom.
I was
think.
like, I am trapped and I am naked and afraid. And I can't leave.
wore a cardigan.
I just wish I had my oversized cardigan with me.
So we're going with shrink wrap though.
Yep, shrink wrap.
All right. So far we got So far, you've picked the two tighter options.
Hold on. Let's put that in context. Remember that if you rewind it back, both times I said, that's a little tight.
Yeah. And that's why I love it. I think that's what you said too.
That's...
All right, moving on to rappers. All right, so we have on top Lil Uzi Vert.
Oh, this is Lil Uzi?
This is Lil Uzi Vert.
I thought you brought him up randomly.
No. This is him right here.
Okay.
It's the two guys are actually Lil Uzi Vert and A$AP Rocky.
I know A$AP Rocky.
Oh,
I don't live under a Rocky.
So first one giving me construction vibes, like kid walked into his dad's construction site and is waiting for him to get off work and put on his vest, like tried to be fashionable.
Oh, and is that a high school letter jacket with those cuffs?
I think it's a Supreme jacket, like a high school jacket. So it's,
and was he wearing? He looks like. Do you see the top of my Diet Coke? His necklace is just made out of these.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is. Is that chain link or something like that? Chain link? Something?
No, it's Diet Coke tops.
A Diet Coke top chain?
Yes.
And
his pants say undercover. It's actually said.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I did not get that.
I was like trying to sound it out, and then I sounded super cool.
Undercover.
He's undercover.
He's also holding a vape, I think.
What celebrity isn't?
Obviously, this is a very eccentric look. Is there anything redeemable about it?
I like the hat because it reminds me of the Muffin Man.
Okay.
so like
that's a Stussy hat.
I don't know what Stussy is.
So everything that he's wearing right now is like pretty big brand names, but they're all like the ones
streetwear, like hardcore streetwear.
Feels more like if you went to a fashion show and been like, that's kind of a cool look, but nobody would actually buy that.
It's not wearable.
Not really.
Unless you're in the high-end New York fashion scene where people understand it.
Yeah, this feels very high-end. Like there's somebody out there that's like, dang.
I thought you were saying like right here. And I was
not
yes.
Here. No.
Like us.
With our graphic tee and our champion hoodie. No, not us. But I think there is a group of people out there that's like, dang, that fit is sick. Like that's a dope.
Am I part of that group of people?
I don't think so.
Absolutely not.
So
I can recognize it for what it is, right? Someone who is wildly more trendy and cooler than me.
Yeah.
Am I attracted to someone who is wearing neon yellow Nikes?
Neon yellow is just not really a good look, period.
This is another vibe it reminds me of. When the boys would dress up for their games, but no one had dress shoes, so they would pair it with their athletic shoes.
Oh, yeah.
And they would wear all the neon yellow Nikes.
I went through a little neon yellow phase, like Nike, Under Armour, in middle school for sure.
Who didn't?
Yeah.
The problem is that it shouldn't come back this way.
He's also probably 27, 28 years old.
He's close to our age?
Yeah, he's probably a little older than us.
You're telling me this man is maybe only 1 year older than me?
Yeah, let's look it up. He might be 30, but I don't think so. Lil Uzi age.
I've got to rate this fit.
Lil Uzi's 28. He was born in 95. July 31st.
Seeing someone 2 years older than me pull this off, I can't tell if...
He also performs on a stage multiple times a week in front of people that absolutely love him, and everybody tells him that whatever he does is right.
That's the thing. Anyone can... I think fashion is whatever you call a fit is a fit.
Yeah, it is.
As long as you pull it off with confidence and you tell people like, no, this is what I'm wearing.
This is me.
But if you have this status, you can look like you're wearing a construction flag and put it around your neck and say, this is fashion, period.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, -1.
What if this guy walked up to you in a Barnes & Noble?
I would...
Run?
Yeah, that was the first word, but I didn't want to make it seem like I was, mean.
Yeah, I get you.
No, I would definitely
That would spook me a little bit.
I would be like, oh.
This seems like the richest crackhead fit to me.
That's a great descriptor.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for me. My favorite part is the undercover.
Undercover.
That is, I would rock
Undercover,
that.
Actually. Undercover.
Undercover.
Which is, I feel like it should be undercover.
I like saying it better that way.
Because you should just go UNDRKOVR
I'm
or
undercover.
UND. Yeah.
Also, the placement of it, like, not ideal.
No. He is in some sort of store.
He does look like he's in an H&M, which is kind of throwing me off because the store behind him, very normal.
Yeah.
Seems and he's like, let me walk in here and not buy anything.
I wonder where he's at.
Abercrombie.
And Fitch. All right, let's move on to A$AP Rocky. The bandana fit. I hate to say it. I like this one way better than the other one, and I still don't really like this one that much. I think he can kind of pull it off.
Going to disagree with you.
You dig it.
I like this one more than even the turtleneck, more than the science fair.
You like the matching jumpsuit?
I love it more than anything.
Wow.
My favorite part is the pearl necklace, which is one of my favorite accessories that men wear.
He rocks pearl necklaces all the time.
The Vans with it.
Pretty
to
clean.
die for.
Pretty clean. I like his rings, actually.
I think...
You kind of falling in love right now?
DJ got me falling in love again. This is by far my favorite one of the entire segment. Not even just comparing it to Little Uzi.
Wow.
Uzi, whatever.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out A$AP Rocky.
Because I think it's simplistic. He paired it with some... No, like, he's not overdoing it. He's pulling off something wild and then putting some great tasteful accessories with it, dressing it down with some Vans.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
I'm still tracking.
But would this fly in walking into Andover Willie McCoy's?
If you did, though, I think everybody would turn and be like, that guy is doing something right.
It has character.
Yes. It's got pizzazz.
And this is something you could pull off in New York City on the street. And people would think you 100% are great with fashion. But you also could perhaps walk into your hometown bar and people would still think that you're cooler than them.
Yeah. I will say... I was going to say, I don't know if a white guy could pull it off, but I think like a professional athlete white guy, like a big white guy. Travis Kelce could pull this off. Will Levis could pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Like Christian McCaffrey could pull this off. Probably.
You have to have, you've got to have status to pull this off.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Or you have to think that you have status
and
to pull this off.
Back to what you were saying, if you have the confidence that you can pull it off, I do think it works.
Mm-hmm. He's feeling himself.
Yeah, he is. It makes sense though. He's a pretty good looking cat.
It's not a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
We don't believe in 10 out of 10.
We did not. It can only be 9 out of 9.
It is an 8.8.
Okay.
It's not so versatile. You can't wear this to grandma's house and be like, grandma wouldn't be like, this is nice.
No,
so,
she wouldn't. She wouldn't like that.
Certain demographic scenarios.
So we're taking A$AP Rocky over Little Hazy Bart.
Every day of my life.
All right, let's move on to cologne commercials. Then we probably have to take a little break after this.
I got to drink 9 of my beverages.
Yeah, true. We got to hydrate. So we're going to start with Jon Snow and Jimmy Choo.
Is that Jon Snow?
Yeah.
I was looking at that, but I couldn't tell.
He's wearing a leather jacket with a Henley shirt and rolled up. They look pretty tight jeans.
And also grabbing someone's ankle.
Yeah. There's also a woman's
with
tush
possession
on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm. So I am immediately not a biker fan.
Yeah, biker jacket.
Style fan. Anyone who walks in with a leather jacket.
This feels Grease Lightning to me.
Go Grease Lightning.
Or like Outsiders.
Outsiders. I just think that leather jackets, it means you're trying too hard.
Yeah, it does. It feels a little try hard. And it's not in right now. Leather jackets are just not in, I don't think.
35 years ago.
I think women can pull them off still.
I have a bomber jacket.
I do
but
too.
Even when I put that on, I almost feel like, oof, I'm trying hard.
Like youth pastory.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I feel like I'm trying to outdo myself.
Mm.
It's not for me. He doesn't have the confidence to pull it off. Or he has too much confidence and he's not pulling it off. I don't like the satin underneath.
Satin? Is that
this
the shirt?
whole outfit feels very sensual.
Yeah.
And it could be the, sensual perfume commercial.
That might help.
That might be why I'm getting that vibe.
There's
which
definitely
means their
like
brand marketing is phenomenal.
There's a blue tint to it.
A twilight tint.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mm-hmm. He does look like he could be a long lost brother of Edward Cullen.
Yes.
Super pale, super washed out.
Absolutely. They're
grabbing
related.
someone's skin like he's going to possess them. Don't ever make that.
I'm going to bite this ankle. All right, let's move on to...
I have to pause.
Are you dying? I didn't even realize.
I was like, hold on.
Choose a beverage. It'll be okay.
Good.
All right, so we had outsider biker Jon Snow. We're
Is
gonna move on
this
to
Matthew McConaughey?
It is Matthew
All right.
I would say the fit is given country boy vibes, but like the prettiest boy in the small town.
Country.
No.
He's not rallying cattle anytime soon.
I don't think so. He wouldn't want to break a nail.
But is he going to the rodeo to show up?
Absolutely.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
I love how his necklace is paired too with a horseshoe.
I saw that. That was the first thing that I noticed.
Yeah,
and it's a little bedazzled.
Yeah, he's got a little oomph to him. I actually kind of like this fit, but it's another fit that's like you have to be confident rocking it.
But when could you wear this outside of a rodeo?
Or a cologne commercial.
Touche.
I would
Also,
say
he doesn't have a shirt underneath the shirt.
this is more like, oh, that's my husband already. He doesn't care how he looks. He lost his shirt because he was hot, and then he put his button up to come back inside. And it's like, wow, that's hot. You know what I mean?
The story that you've created, I don't think that would actually happen.
I think it has to be like he's not trying to impress anybody.
Yeah. Like
but
someone
his
took a
wife is
candid
impressed.
of this, but
Yes.
then everyone's like, ooh, you're looking really good accidentally.
Yes.
He was just
On
coming in
purpose.
from a long day. The white shirt got dirty.
Milk and udders and stuff like that.
Well, not as hot when you had that in. I think in Gusts are hotter. Wow. I like this one. And I love a good cowboy hat, but also
Yeah. Love the cowboy
Carolina
hat.
girl now.
Yep. I like the boots.
We like the boots. We love the hat. Who's Lil Uzi? Lil Uzi.
Is he a part of a union? He looks like
Little
a construction worker. Little union-y.
I don't listen to rap music. Well, I do when I'm lifting, but not Lil Uzi Hazy.
Little hazy vert. All right, we're back. We're going to jump into round 2 of Find Your Fit. We also grabbed another beverage.
We were like, we don't need a beer. We're like, do you want a beer? I don't need a beer.
I was kind of feeling
We're
it
at
after-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I think
6, 7, 8. 8 drinks on the table.
I will say if the malt beverage would have been more delicious, I probably wouldn't have wanted this. But because
I
now
still would have wanted it.
you have a very great variety of
1,
drinks.
2, 3, 4. Grab the malt. 5, 6.
I was just stuck with water at that point, so I was like, I kind of want a little bit more Flava Flav.
I do want.
You know,
Every 4 seconds, you're gonna see another one.
do you know who Flava Flav is?
Of course, I do.
He's my favorite chef. He's actually a rapper from like way back when, but he used to have a TV show called something like
Which beverage am I drinking?
yeah, that's what it was. No, I think it was like Flava Flav's Love Life or something like that, and he would just like meet women, but he's not attractive, so it was very funny.
I have no context of who this is, when they existed,
I also
what
don't know,
they do.
I don't know when we cut out. I'm not sure if we missed anything at the end, but we did say
Matthew McConaughey wins.
Matthew
what
McConaughey
happened.
won the
His
cologne.
outfit,
Yeah, it's
The
just
hat,
it's
the
just-
buckle,
It's better.
the country.
So now we're gonna compare turtleneck with tight cardigan.
Turtleneck.
We're taking turtleneck.
Yeah, tight cardigan. That was kind of a,
I was like, I don't really like either one, so I'm gonna go with this one.
but like you tried, you had a more consistent branding throughout your image, so we chose him.
Yeah,
He was a backup option.
but you didn't love the tight cardigan either. You liked them
I did.
separately.
They were fine.
Yeah, all the guys are saying.
They're like, yeah, they were fine.
Whenever I bump the table, I notice that they're all just like, true.
They're like, we know we're not that much to look at.
You guys can't see it, but we have a lineup of Arizona. Actually, they're not even like really in a row.
They're definitely in a row.
Well, kind of.
I feel separated
They're
from
a little
you.
messed up. The aesthetic is off, but you guys can't see it. Yep, that's Han Solo. But I think it's Paul Schmidt, maybe. That's Randy Johnson. He's a legend. That's the coach. Random pitcher.
Is it the whole team?
Aaron Hill. No, there's only. They're all, not even all from the same team, like same era. Like Randy Johnson's like early 2000s. Schmidt is like,
Yeah, I know all these guys.
I don't know when he was in his prime. Yeah, and this is actually Lil Uzi Vert right here at the end.
I knew it. I knew he looked familiar from my own collection.
Exactly. So we're going tight cardigan.
Yes.
Now we're gonna go.
Wait, no. Tight cardigan against who?
Tight cardigan against turtleneck. Did you go turtleneck?
That's why we went turtleneck over tight cardigan because tight cardigan was kind of like a backup option.
Why did I think you said not turtleneck?
Yeah,
or
and so
something?
then I did that, and then you're like, but you didn't really like tight cardigan.
Yeah,
and I
and
said,
you're like, I know.
correct, which is why I did not choose him.
Okay, yeah. So we're going turtleneck over tight cardigan.
Mm-hmm.
That makes more sense. I agree with you on that one. I think the aesthetic works better. Now we're going to compare A$AP Rocky's bandana fit to Matthew McConaughey's.
Oh, don't make me
Hicks.
choose.
Well, try to take Matthew McConaughey out of the picture. You got a guy with Southern pants, Southern button up, horseshoe necklace,
I did like the bedazzle.
cowboy
necklace.
hat, cowboy boots, or you got A$AP Rocky with the matching fit. Or not A$AP Rocky. You have a guy with a matching fit.
I think when you put it in context and you say take Matthew McConaughey out of it, immediately I know that I only chose that because it was Matthew McConaughey.
That's embarrassing.
I was like, oh, now that I don't actually remember the outfit very much.
Was he wearing clothes?
Which one was it? Like, I just remember he wasn't wearing a shirt under that shirt. So in that light, bandana outfit,
Really?
I truly think is my favorite.
You like it. So I think we're in the last round now. I think we're going to kind of speed it up a little bit. You have turtleneck or bandana.
Turtleneck is not even close.
Yeah.
In my world, in the world that I live in,
Yeah.
turtleneck boy would be the best option. There's never anyone that I would actually encounter that would wear the bandana fit.
Right.
But in the world that I imagine, someone like that would come up to me.
Or
And
a
I would
podcast.
be like,
You can create that world.
yeah.
So bandana.
Every man who wears only bandanas. You now know my sense of style.
That's so
big
funny.
deal.
At the beginning of this, I would not have expected you to pick that one as your favorite. I think I was kind of picking those as like, oh, those will probably.
What did you think mine would be? The collar and the sweater
I thought you'd go
as a safe choice.
I thought you'd go.
Or did you think the country?
I thought
I'm
maybe
from the South.
maybe Matthew McConaughey fit or oversized cardigan. Those were the ones that I would have expected you to pick.
No, it was just I just chose Matthew McConaughey. Period.
I kind of like that fit, but in like how we talked about
In
it.
the only context, in the very slim context that it would work.
These are all actually very contextual. Is that a word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the Matthew McConaughey one. If it's a cameo, or if it's not a cameo, it's a candid.
Yes.
The bookstore guy.
Oh yeah, in Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, he looks great if he's in a bookstore.
Made my day. Phenomenal.
The Uzi one doesn't really work ever.
Yeah,
I think
one doesn't work.
Would you say your least favorite ones were the Jon Snow, the leather jacket, and the Uzi?
I forgot about Jon Snow. That's how much I didn't like it.
Yeah, that one wasn't very good.
That's
I
just a
didn't like
walking
that
red
fit.
flag.
Well, now you know. If you're looking to pick up chicks, just go buy a clothing that looks just like a bandana, and it's all got to be the same.
Or become Matthew
McConaughey.
McConaughey.
Super
You're
easy.
welcome.
Become.
The best advice I have to give: don't be you, and you'll do great.
Have you tried not being yourself?
Works very well for women.
All right, we're moving on to our next game. This one's called Poorly Explained Movies. So I'm going to give you a tagline or a log line of a movie that's not going to be very well explained. And you're
A
gonna have
real
to guess,
movie?
Yes, they're all
Okay.
real movies. And you have to guess which movie it is.
But I already only know maybe 7 movies.
These are pretty.
They're well known.
Yeah,
so
very
they're
well
not okay.
You should be able to know them. I think you've probably seen
They're not true like cinematography fans. The people who are
more
really-
cultural
okay.
movies. So here's your first one. We'll see if you can get this one right, and then we'll kind of get a reading of where we're going.
where the chips are gonna fall.
All right, here's your first one. Young girl with schizophrenia talks to furniture and falls in love with her captor.
Oh, Beauty and the Beast.
It is Beauty and the
of
Beast.
course.
Of course.
You thought I was gonna be stupid.
All right. Well, this one gets a little bit tougher, but the last one I would say is fairly easy. So your middle one's kind of tough. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Man-child learns to be an adult.
Is this a plot? I'm thinking of Tom Hanks movies like Big,
Okay.
but because that just reminded me, but I don't actually remember the plot of that. I can't remember if he turns into a child or if he watches a child in that movie.
He is a child and turns into an adult.
What was this prompt?
Man-child learns to be an adult.
Is that... Can I have a hint?
It's not Big.
Thank you.
Which I think if you...
That's not a bad guess.
I-
If I'm interpreting it wrong, I think.
I don't think so, though, because now that I think about it,
Oh, 17 again.
no, but I'll give it to you. I think that's fair. I think that's good.
Because it's...
That
he's
one
a
works.
man, goes back to a child, and he was not a great dad and husband and
Yeah.
everything. Then he becomes Zac Efron,
Yeah.
and he's like, I love my family. I'm good at sports again.
Yeah.
Learns to be an adult, true meaning of life.
I'm going to give it to you.
Thank you.
That was good.
Thank you,
It was not
Barbie.
the one I was thinking of. The actual prompt was any Adam Sandler movie.
Oh.
But
How would I?
I know that's why it's a tough one.
How would
Because
I?
if you would have said Billy Madison, if you would have said Happy Gilmore, if you'd have said Grown Ups, I think they're all applicable.
No, not the new Adam Sandler movie that came out 2 years ago.
Which, well, yeah.
Where he's a basketball coach. And it's
Hustle?
yes.
Yeah.
He is not a man-child.
Or in Uncut Gems.
So that's why that's not on me. I had a better answer than the one you had prescribed.
We don't have to argue.
Okay. Okay.
All right, good job. Let's see if you can go 3 for 3. All right, here's your last one. Bullied kid with birth defect proves people are only nice to you when they need something. That's you?
I'm feeling overwhelmed thinking
Lindsay's
about 7th grade.
documentary.
Okay, sorry. What was the prompt? I wasn't thinking it.
Bullied kid with birth defect proves people are only nice to you when they need something. Thinking?
The birth defect is what's throwing me off.
That's the biggest hint.
So to be honest, the first movie that came to mind is the really sad movie Elephant Man.
Yeah, not that one.
And I was like, I don't think he would throw me in for that. Be like,
also,
here it is.
I don't think he was.
I don't think people were ever nice to him.
I don't think they were ever nice to him. Yeah, no.
I think it was just sad all the way through.
Yeah, it was a pretty tough movie.
Kid with birth. Oh, is this? Okay, I don't know the name of it. Is Jennifer Garner the mom in the movie?
No.
And he wears that helmet.
No, but I know what you're talking about, the astronaut kid.
Yes.
No, that's also another movie that's like, nah, that's too real. It's not that real.
Okay, so it's like the first prompt where it was like woman with schizophrenia, and I was
Yes.
like, easy, Beauty and the Beast.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
more than that. It's
Bullied
like, oh, not
kid
really, but
with
yes, he
birth
does.
defect. Nemo. Wait, he doesn't. He had a birth defect, and he was kind of bullied. He just got lost and kidnapped.
Well, it's not Nemo.
Stupid.
You actually got 2 out of 3 correct, though, which is very impressive.
Every blind squirrel finds a nut sometimes.
That's right. Bullied kid with birth defect proves people are only nice to you when they need something. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I would have never guessed that.
Really?
Because you did it on a holiday theme.
No, it's not a holiday theme.
Yes, it is.
This Adam Sandler movie, Beauty and the Beast.
No, I'm saying this one was holiday theme. I wasn't in Christmas movie mindset.
I probably threw you off with the malt beverage.
Yeah, I'm like, how did I not
Christmas.
think? How did this escape me? Oh.
All right, we're moving on to the next segment. This one, we're gonna have to get creative. Let's do.
Do I need any devices
We kind of just
on my
need
disposal?
We kind of just
Need
need
more room.
No, I
No
guess
more
we
drinks?
could just say it out loud. So
Okay.
this is the game. It's called Man versus Woman. The original prompt was hold up 2 signs saying either man or woman and debate on topics where which gender excels.
Oh, I feel like no strife or tension is going to be caused in this game between us.
I don't think so.
Oh, I think we'll mainly get agree on all of our political ideologies.
I think we actually might. They're very gender neutral topics.
Okay.
So I think we actually will agree on. I bet you we only disagree on one, and I think you'll be surprised. I feel
like we agree on a lot, though.
We
We
do
came
agree.
to this conclusion
Same.
earlier. Okay.
Same. All right, so we're just gonna go on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you have to say man or woman.
Of who's better at it?
Yeah, who excels?
Okay.
So here's the first one: handwriting. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Women.
Yeah.
You know that I can only write in cursive. I never learned to print.
You still only write in cursive? Here's a pencil and
I'm
a
gonna show everyone.
napkin.
No, it's not gonna be. It's pretty.
Well, then do it on your on your cup. Okay.
So back in Meadow Creek days,
Yeah.
do you remember starting in first grade, we had to write in cursive?
Yeah.
And Mrs. Farguson told me that I would never find success and all, more or less. And that all, I was like, I don't know what to say. I was only 6.
You will never amount
I
to
might have
anything.
imagined this part. But that in high school and college, she's like, professors are only going to be
Accepting work.
accepting if you're doing it in cursive. So I only learned how to do all cursive.
So write Lindsay.
And then
Oh, that's a
when
better
I
pencil.
transferred, this isn't a pencil.
No, that's a better pencil than the I think that metal one might have ripped the paper.
Lindsey Peterson cannot print.
That's good. I need to see it closer. Wow. Yeah, you still write in cursive.
100% cursive, but I have old fashioned cursive as well.
Yeah, you do.
So that's my scribble. But then my actual handwriting, I just gave my 80-year-old neighbor a card and she said, "Oh my gosh, we have the same handwriting." Oh. And I was like, "Janet, we do." So women superior in that. Not that men always have bad handwriting.
I agree. Yeah.
It's such a true stereotype though.
I think back on like high school though, and I remember like if I was ever helping out a teacher with grading papers or anything like that, so many guys had crazy bad handwriting.
I feel like you guys hold your pens like this.
I'm pretty sure Jake McDermott went like this. Ting, 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 ting.
He's like, "Does anyone have a rock and like a hammer around here?"
He had crazy handwriting. I remember like, I don't have crazy good handwriting, and I would say I was still probably better than a lot of guys.
But what is it? Why?
I think it's got to be something to do with like, are women more often perfectionists? So then from
Perhaps
a young
more
age,
detail oriented.
detail oriented for sure.
Because I was about to say a lot of men are fantastic artists, but then their handwriting can still be, it's not very delicate.
No, it's not. It feels more like, I think you guys take more pride in how it looks.
It's an extension of image.
Probably.
Because when I would...
Oh, that's interesting. Whoa. Getting deep.
Smarter than I think I am. Okay. But then when I got to the point where when I transferred to public school, one of my teachers gave one of my papers back and said, "I can't read cursive. Can you print this?" I was like, "Unfortunately, no."
Unfortunately, I cannot do that. That's funny. Yeah, I remember
And
your
I'm like,
handwriting.
"Mrs. Vargason."
Of course you had really good handwriting. Jenna Peterson had really good handwriting. I remember Allison having good handwriting. Like all the girls had good
All the
handwriting.
girlies did.
Usually there was an outlier that didn't, but it's the opposite for guys. Usually there was an
It's the
outlier
outlier
that
who do
had
have-
an outlier. That,
My
like-
dad's handwriting, impeccable.
Yeah, my dad's is good too.
Extremely detailed. It looks like a font.
Yeah, my dad's does
But
too.
it's probably the only boy I know who I'm like, "Wow, you've impressed me."
My dad writes in all caps sometimes.
That's what my dad does.
And I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, I
it
love
looks like and it's always with the really thick pens.
Oh, he uses those metal tip ones. Those
Same.
super thick.
That's what
Yeah,
my
same.
dad does.
My dad does not
Never
play with
mind. I've
markers.
never used a thick metal pen. Crazy.
All right, here's the next one. Did you see that?
No,
I just spittled
that's okay.
right on my
Now
laptop.
I saw it.
Oh, great.
Great.
All right, here's the next one. Driving. Ready?
I don't
1,
want to answer.
2, 3.
Men.
Men. I do think men drive better. I think more.
Listen here.
Yeah. Talk to me first, and then I'll have a rebuttal. But we
I
agree.
answered that because I am fully aware that me personally, not a great driver. Such as when I texted you, you're like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "Haha, just went the wrong way in a one way."
Yep, I do remember that.
That happened 2 days ago.
Yeah. Yep.
And also, guess what? That happened like 3 weeks ago. It's a somewhat
have to tell me
regular
that.
occurrence. I'm just like adding
I like it. The context.
to my argument.
Right.
So I don't think that women in general are bad drivers.
Women in general.
I was like emphasizing that woman, like women plural in general.
Right. I got you. I'm
I
tracking.
overdid it all. Sorry.
I'm here for it.
So that being said, I can only base it on my conclusion, which is I know that I'm not a fantastic driver.
I think in a generalized sense, men are more confident in their ability to be a good driver, and I think it translates to usually being a better driver.
I also think that maybe, perhaps, perchance, women are slightly more distracted
Maybe.
because when I'm driving,
You have more thoughts
I'm like,
than we
"Where's
do.
my lip gloss? Where's
Yeah.
my Diet Coke? Where's this?
Yeah, right. Where's my sixth
Yeah.
beverage?
Where? They're all in my lap.
Where's my malt?
Where's my malted beverage?"
I agree with you. I think women are, because I think you guys have like 3 times the thoughts that we do in a day.
Oh, do you do is this a men thing or is this just a woman thing? I will drive
Yeah.
and I'll get to my destination and I will think, "Don't know how I got here."
Don't remember driving. Yeah.
It's almost like you go into
The nothing box. Have you heard about
the
that?
dark place. No.
The
What's the nothing box?
The nothing box is like a concept that like men can literally not think about anything.
Oh, what a scary
I know.
place to be.
Well, not really. It's just like dull. It's just like.
Well, there's nothing in there.
Like I can literally sit here and.
No one's home.
I mean, other than the concept of like, don't think about anything.
I can literally sit here with you and think of absolutely nothing.
But I don't think women, I think they did a study on it where women aren't capable of that because you guys just have, your brains are wired differently. It's like.
I'm constantly. So when I'm going into that place where I'm so spaced out, I'm thinking about something so in depth that I just blank and I'm in my driveway. I'm like, did I run 9 red lights?
Probably.
No one will know.
Except for those cameras.
Except for all the tickets in my name. I don't actually have a parking ticket. Or not a park. I've never had a speeding ticket, a ticket in general.
I haven't either. I've never had a speeding ticket. I've had a couple. I had 3 like really mild accidents when I was 16.
I had 1 accident when I was 16.
I had 3 of them. One of them.
I didn't stop and I ran into someone.
Same. I slipped on ice and ran into somebody going like 8 miles an hour at a red light. So that wasn't like nobody was hurt. Nothing happened, but I still had to pay for it. And then I backed up into an Escalade.
I backed into the closed garage door.
So did I. That was my 3rd one. But my garage door broke. So it stopped halfway. And so I ran into it. I was like
I ran into the garage door and the car behind the garage. So it was like dunk, dunk.
Oh, that's bad. But I did a very similar thing. I like opened the garage door, thought it went up all the way.
Yeah.
I'm on my phone, whatever. And then I put it down and I back out and it's just like.
And you hear
boom!
it. And you're just.
I'm just like.
You're just in the dark. I just don't know what to do.
I was like, I've been sitting here for 2 minutes. How is the garage door not up yet? And then we found out that it was broken. It was off.
So you were fine.
So that one
it all washes out.
Yeah, that one didn't really count, but the other 2 did. I mean,
I've gotten one warning.
I was parked behind a bus at Legacy, and the bus wasn't moving. I had to take a right, but they were in the right lane.
Did you get a ticket? Because bus laws are weird. You can't drive around.
I didn't run into a bus.
Oh, okay.
The bus driver said, go around me. So then I put it into reverse, and right when I did,
and he hoodwinked you.
You know how the car like kind of jumps a little bit?
Yeah,
when you like that.
When you're stuck on ice and then it gains traction.
Yeah, the Escalade was so close to me that I did that. Touched the gas.
That's the Escalade's fault.
It was Mrs. Hennon. Do you know Mrs. Hennon?
I know that she's a teacher.
Abby Hennon's mom is a teacher. Carson and Abby Hennon's mom.
Wasn't she the one who is the art teacher?
No, I don't think so.
That's Miss Hanson.
Miss Hanson, yeah. No, this is Mrs. Hennon. And she was like, oh, I don't see any damage. You're good to go. So I dipped out. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. Like, I got away. You know, I just bumped her car and she's whatever. I get to golf practice. She calls me and says, hey, my husband said there's a microscopic fracture in the bumper and we're getting the entire thing replaced. So you owe me $1,000. And I was like, wow.
Did your parents pay for it or did you have to pay for it?
I think my dad ended up paying for it, but I was originally going to. I was
have
like,
you
wow,
seen
that really sucks.
That viral video that's like, I'm sorry, I have no money. I'm just a baby.
No.
I can pay you in blocks.
Oh, yeah, I have.
That's what I think of you being like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm just
It was just a microscopic tear.
I remember being so irritated. Looking back now, like it's fine. You know, it's his car. He can make that decision. But I was just
I can see you being a bit more of an aggressive driver than I am.
I'm actually not. A lot of people say I drive like a grandma because I never really exceed over 5. Like I never really go 5 over, which is why I think I've never had a ticket.
So moral of story is we're both not fantastic drivers.
I've had a pretty clean record since 16.
This is when you're supposed to say yes because you just told me all of the records. 16 still counts.
Men are better.
Men do win, but I'm not as bad as you think.
I don't think it's like that far
And you're
off.
not as good as you think.
True. I don't think any guy is as good as he thinks, but I do think it helps men be better drivers because they're more confident. Because I think, I don't know if you've ever talked to a guy, if you've ever been like, you're not a very good driver. Men get very defensive. Like men, it's like a very prideful thing. Like,
and then they're like, women aren't good drivers. And it's like, yes, we are. And then we run into the curb 9 times.
Yeah. I just don't think girls are as like focused on like,
I would be more upset if you
driver.
said my handwriting is bad versus my driving is bad.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that's fair. Not for me, but for you.
Yeah, you're like, me too.
I think I'd be more offended if you were like, you're not a very good driver, but you do have impeccable handwriting. I'd be like, that's
exactly what I wanted to hear from a woman.
That's not what I was going for.
Okay, we agree.
All right,
Same.
let's move on to the third one, which is actually kind of applicable. We kind of talked about this already. Painting. I think this is kind of a tough one.
This is a tough one. I don't think there's a right answer.
I have a right answer.
Okay. I have a right-ish answer.
Yeah, it's subjective.
But I am open to being swayed.
Ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Women. I say women because my mom's a painter.
And I love art, and I've been painting for a long time.
Yeah.
But there's so many men who are great at that. Artwork is a creative skill that
Universal.
is not. Yeah.
But I do think painting, I feel like more women are good at painting.
If you would have said drawing
is
I
men.
may have said men.
I would have said men because my dad's an artist.
Oh, true. I did forget about
So
that.
those are my two, like,
Yes.
I'm pulling from a very small sample
I still
size.
have the drawing in my closet that your dad drew me and that you gave to me,
Oh.
which was,
I kind of remember that.
this was
it a lion?
18 years ago.
Was it a lion or was
No, it was my basketball picture.
Oh my gosh. Funny.
I still have that. So I have one of Mark Yeager's old
Oh, an OG.
vintage.
Oh, I remember the picture
vintage
too. You were
drawings.
on one knee.
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah.
just wearing a giant cotton shirt. I was like, Jack Yeager's gonna love this so much when he sees this. Cutting out the wallet size ones. Like, he is gonna lose his mind.
And obviously I did. I was like, we have to
Yeah,
draw
you're like,
this.
Dad,
This is the best picture I've ever seen in my life.
we have to turn this.
And I actually still have that picture so
They're
you guys
great.
can see it right here.
It just comes out of your wallet. It's just faded with time. You're like, I've been waiting to show
That would
this.
be weird.
No, I forget that your dad is an artist. I think that like pencil drawing, charcoal, things
Yeah.
like that, those are a little bit more it just doesn't feel as loosey-goosey and as creative as painting.
Yeah.
I always think of painting as more so landscapes
Yeah.
and like a creative side.
Agreed.
I think women for that.
Mine is seriously only getting pulled because my mom paints and my dad draws. So those were like, I was thinking about it like, well, I'd probably go women then because the only paintings that I usually see are my mom's. And I
Yep.
think she's fantastic. So it's
We
pretty
agree.
easy.
That was an easy one.
That was an easy one.
But
See,
if you're a
I kinda
man, it
figured.
doesn't mean we think you're bad at painting.
No, hey,
Not at all.
You're a good
listen,
painter.
Listen.
good painter.
You keep sticking with it. You are going to be, send us what you have.
Yeah, we'll show it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Next episode we shoot. It's gonna be a while.
I was like, don't take it.
If anybody does send me a painting, I'll show it in the closest episode. Whenever I
Yes.
receive it, I will show it the next episode.
We will rank all artwork.
Yes,
Keep up, men. You can be creative too.
you can be.
You
can be important.
paint that landscape.
And hey, if you can't paint, at least you can drive. You know. So
Okay. Next one.
all right, here's the next one. Investing.
Fiscally?
Yep.
Okay.
Ready? Oh, shoot. I totally had an answer, and then I thought about something, and I was like, oh, wait.
This is, okay, let's just go.
This is a tough one, actually. All right, ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Men, but I have
knew
to
we were
talk
gonna-
about it.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Rewind to the
You
beginning
knew
of this
that this
conversation.
is going
I knew
to
this
be
was
the
one
one.
that was going to be
This
the.
is crazy.
Yeah, and I was like,
I
it's
need
not
to-
the one we
okay.
expect.
I'm so excited.
I know, that was a fun one. All right.
Okay.
Talk to me.
You have to start of why you thought that I would say this and why you chose your answer.
So I would have, from my personal view, I think women like to shop more than men.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily on big purchases though, but I think women are more comfortable dropping money at a mall or at a wherever.
Also, we
So I was
live in
like-
a society that is a bit more materialistic and pushing products on women.
right.
And I think that is natural.
So is that your argument that you think men invest better?
No, that's not my argument.
Okay, so my argument that I think it's women is because I actually looked it up. I was looking up stuff that's like, what are topics that are gender neutral where neither women or men excel? And then I kind of rabbit holed into what are things that women do excel at. So I guess I kind of had an idea. Statistically, women are more fiscal than men, 18 to 11% or something like that. So I was like, wow, that was very interesting. I'm going to put that in the template. But I think if I wouldn't have looked it up, I would have said men based on very small
Stereotypes.
sample size.
Yep.
Yeah, spending money and shopping.
Mine is different. When I think about the topic of investing, right, versus like spending or anything
Yeah, it's
like
not
that.
really the same.
Yeah, that's why my answer is a little bit different, but they're all in the same wheelhouse. I think that sociologically, men have more opportunities to be able to get into finance careers. That oftentimes it's more common for them to pursue like degrees relating to
like
finance,
accounting or
business. You think about all of the people who are working in our banks and on Wall Street, et cetera. That is more of a male-dominated industry.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, if we're playing a numbers game, I think that career-wise and the people who are writing the finance books are predominantly men.
So they just have more knowledge about
Yep.
the
So there's a minority
topic.
of women represented in like the finance
world. Yep.
But I think that there's a super cool wave going on of a ton of females understanding what investing means, wanting to get involved in it, And then from my personal experience, my sister and her husband, my sister is the one who manages all of their personal investment accounts,
Wow.
all of their financing.
That's awesome.
And then I started my own personal finance journey about 3 years ago. And it brings you into so much information. And now I have a girls' finance group where we all do our finance spreadsheets together.
Wow.
And we opened up like our first high yield savings account and our first like target index funds.
Wow.
So with
That's
that
crazy.
being said,
You still said man.
What?
You still, after all that, you still said men.
But I said men because I think that it's still, men probably still have, not like they have more opportunity, but it's still a male dominated
Field.
topic, concept, field,
Yeah.
and something that they probably have more information about. But now there's a ton of more resources where women are starting to understand it and wanting not to feel clueless and taking control in that way.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think the argument for women being more financially responsible is based on the fact that women tend to have more of an understanding about long-term consequences and benefits.
But I think that men's spending and women's spending is very different. I think that if men see something, they'll be like, okay. And if they want it, they're like, okay, I'll get this. Women, maybe this is a generalization, perhaps are a bit more impulsive.
Probably.
And
Maybe.
I don't know. Well,
sure.
I guess for my reality, I don't know a lot of men that perhaps online shop as much as I would, or my friends do.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And so when I have the Lululemon bag and I have my Ulta lip gloss and these things, I don't think that men probably get sucked in with marketing to as many small purchases.
No.
Yeah, I'm starting a finance podcast.
Are you?
No.
You could. Yeah, we cut out again, but we were pretty much just wrapping up that investing and spending are different.
Right when it cut out, Jack was like, I really feel like, Lindsey, you are the smartest with money. And I was like, no.
I don't remember this.
No, it's okay.
What's the alcohol percentage in this puppy?
Yeah. I'm like, also, I'm 7 beers in.
Yeah.
I'm not, no
We
worries.
took a bit of a break in between those two.
Everyone, cheers to investing.
All right, let's move on. This is the last one for man versus woman. Precise urination.
Just go. Tell
1, 2, 3.
Women.
Men. What?
Wait.
Precise.
I think I'm interpreting the question wrong. I feel so stupid.
Precise urination. Were you thinking like pee on a seat? What were you thinking of?
My voice hurts so bad. So my laugh just started to speak right.
Little horse.
Immediately, I was like, I'm embarrassed. I want to leave because I was thinking of the question probably different than you were thinking.
Precise urination.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, men clearly can be more precise than women.
Yeah.
But like women never miss going to the bathroom. So I thought you were saying it as a joke. Like, oh, of course men are always like, like
I just
being
meant
on
more
the
like
toilet seat.
I can aim better than.
And then when you said that immediately came into my brain. I was like, he interpreted this different than I did. And now I want to go.
Well, I don't think you can say, obviously men, well, that's not even true, actually. I heard from a couple
There are
girls in
two
college.
very different ways to think of this question.
I didn't realize until college that girls still pee on the seat. Or like
What
they
do you
can,
mean?
like you can get pee on the seat or like pee underneath the seat or like still
Do
be
you
a
know I
messy
went through
peer.
a phase when I was younger where I only peed standing up? You probably wouldn't know that, but let me tell you about it.
You just always had like a wet leg?
No.
Oh, you like squat.
Yeah, I just wanted to pee
Well, you
standing
said
up.
standing up though. That makes
was
me
standing.
That makes me feel like you're like literally like this and you're
I
just
like was
you didn't like bend
for
over
maybe 2 years of my life. And
like the first two?
like, no, unfortunately, like probably 7, 8 years old. I just wanted to be
Not to get into too much detail, but how does that work?
I was like facing the toilet too.
Oh, and then like straddling it?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes more sense.
And then I would just like
I'm
pee.
thinking you're like standing, butt to toilet and you're just like standing
No.
straight up. I was like, how's that
No,
not
I just
going down
wanted to see what it would feel like to
for
be
2
a boy.
years?
Yeah, and it lasted a while. And then I was like,
I gotta stop doing this.
what if someone walked? Like, I don't want this to be the story of my adulthood.
And did you have decent accuracy? I feel like you don't have as good when
That
you
was super easy.
but you don't have a handle.
No.
That's where my precision
But if
argument comes
it's
in.
like a strong stream,
So you just have to
just
wait
go
until you
straight
really have to
down.
pee.
Yeah.
Okay.
and go.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say men. You said women. Nope, we're done with that topic.
do another round.
Run it back. All right, let's move into our next segment. This one's called, we have 2 more. Let's do the hot topic hat.
Ooh, what's that one?
So we have some controversial topics in here.
Okay.
If you're uncomfortable with one of them, feel free to grab a new one. But they are pretty
spicy and dicey.
Not everybody's going to agree with what you say.
Oh,
because
no.
there are definitely 2 sides
So
to
this
every
is
argument.
what this is what I don't have a problem reading them and talking about them. I have a problem of thinking what people's opinion are of what my opinion would be of that controversial topic.
That will happen with the hot topic hat.
Oh, lovely.
All right, get in there. All right, the hot topic of
I
you
already
got 2
feel
of
like
them?
I don't like this one.
Oh, you got one? What is it? Can I read it? It might even be one that we did last episode, so we might not be able to do it.
I don't know what it means. I don't know what you're trying to ask.
How about you read it and then I'll tell you?
Because if it's not as, I don't think it's that bad if it's what I think it is, unless you're taking it a different way. Refusal of service.
Yeah. Refusal of service.
Yeah, so if you go into a restaurant and someone's refusing to serve you because you're not wearing shoes.
Correct. Or if you wanted to get controversial.
That's where I thought you were going to go.
Well, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. That's why I was like, can we talk about just no shoes?
You can also talk about no shoes, no shirt, no service kind of thing. It's like generally the topic to discuss would be, does a business have a right to turn down anybody that they want to?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then
Because I have worked in the service industry. And I think that's why my answer is that way. There are so many times when you are a low-grade employee and you're a barista or you work in a restaurant or you're at the front desk that people absolutely can berate you.
Yeah.
And there are times where you're fairly worried at how aggressive someone can be. You don't know the people that you're working with.
And you see
and I
randoms
think
every
that
day.
every business has the right, especially when you see the viral videos, right? Some of them are completely blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
People shouldn't have been refused.
Right.
But when you see the Karens absolutely losing their mind at people.
Because there's cheese on her burger.
Yeah, it's like, you need to be an adult to be here. Just
Yeah.
leave. You can't do anything. You can't reconcile with these people
No.
because they refuse to be argued with.
I agree.
And you just have to remove them. It's like you can come back when you've calmed down and you just kick them out and you do not have to serve them and have your employees deal with them and go through that strife.
I think the business should back up their employees more often. I also understand the concept of customer's always right, because that's just business model 101.
And you do have to just be okay with that when you're in that industry, is you're going to know that people are absolute jerks to you.
But if somebody's aggressive, if somebody is extremely rude, if somebody is...
Or they're getting riled up and you're sensing that they're getting elevated to a point where you can't control it.
But even to the point of religious belief, if you have a certain religious belief and it's your business and somebody comes in and you don't agree with their lifestyle and you say, sorry, we don't want to serve you, that should be their right of business.
It is.
Let's say I walked in and a company was like, sorry, we don't serve white people. I'd be like, wow, that's crazy. But also, your business, you're not getting my money now. That's fine. We'll go separate ways. I'll go somewhere else. I'm not going to throw a hissy fit and say that's racist, that's wrong, whatever. Even if it is, it's not my, I'm not paying for the lights in here. I'm not paying for the air conditioning. I'm not paying for the food that you're supplying.
I'm saying that the business has the right to do that, but do I think it's necessarily always right or respectful?
Agreed.
No.
But I think when you really boil it down, it has to be black and white.
The business is a separate entity and it is able to do what
they should be able to do whatever they want, as long as it doesn't harmfully affect anybody, as long as it doesn't, whatever, however you want to chop it up. If they want to refuse service, I think more than anything, you have the right to do that. That's your business.
Yes. But I feel like that was straightforward.
I think it is
Look how
straightforward.
easy we handled those waters.
I think it is straightforward, though. I don't think it has to be.
But sometimes it's completely inappropriate, but it doesn't mean it's not in their right.
For sure. Agreed. I think,
And there are times where it's wildly not
It's well, you probably should serve them because you're a massive racist or you're homophobic or whatever.
And it's like, well.
But also, it's your business. It is your business. All right.
Your biz.
Your business. Last game we're going to play. This actually wraps up the episode. Wow. We're already at an hour and 10 minutes. Isn't that crazy?
How time flies when your throat hurts and you've had to go to the bathroom for 30 minutes.
Yep. Because you have 82 ounces of fluid in front of you.
1, 2, 3, 4. The sad thing is I've only had that one sip of water when I was coughing.
Oh.
We switched to the beer. Latte got cold, but still having it, and Diet Coke.
Let's actually count how many ounces you have in front of you. Is that 16?
Okay.
16?
This is a medium. But in my defense, I did get this 2 hours ago. I was drinking at
Still.
Barnes & Noble.
I think these are 12 ounces.
This is 16. Okay.
16 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12, which would be 36.
Hold on, genius.
46, 52. And then I think that big one is actually only 16 as well, somehow. I think it's a really thick glass.
That's got to be like 20.
I don't think it is because I'll take a water bottle and fill it, and it's...
This has got to be 8.
You think? It might be a little less. 24, 32 we'll say, plus 16 would be 42, 48, plus another 16. It's 48 plus 16. 58,
60?
64. That's actually not... Well, it's a lot of liquid, but...
64 ounces of liquid.
Wow.
How much if I drink in? 4 sips of each one, though.
Yeah, that's how you should do it, though.
I'm going to chug for the last... Just keep the camera on you. Just 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you have to finish all your beverages
Just
before the
absolutely
podcast is
miserable,
over.
burping uncontrollably,
Peeing, standing up.
crying, stomach ache hurts, having to pee.
All right, the next game we're going to play, or the next segment we're going to do, it's called What Do You Do? So I'm going to give you... how do I explain it? Like variables or occurrences that could happen to you in life, and then you're gonna say what would you do if you were in that position. Hypotheticals. That's what I was going for. They're hypotheticals. All right, this is your first one. You start dating a guy with a different political view.
What would I do?
Yeah, would you stay with him? Like, let's say
Are we officially dating, boyfriend, girlfriend?
you're officially dating after a month, and then a conversation comes up, and he says,
So like we did the seeing each other period. We talked, we texted, decided boyfriend, girlfriend, and then somehow in the time that I was seeing him before I decided I wanted him
politics
to be
didn't
my
come up.
boyfriend. Okay.
It just was going very smoothly. You just it never came up. There was no arguments, nothing.
This is not a big deal.
And then
to
he
me
goes, "Oh my gosh,
in the slightest.
you're far blank." And then he's like, and then you're like, "Yeah, are you far blank?" And then you guys are completely on the opposite. Well, opposite spectrums because you're not honest. You're not far. Or anything.
Yeah. It's
so it doesn't bother you.
not
Let's
at
say
all.
he leaned farther right than you.
Not at all. Because that has been a lot of my case in different relationships.
Oh yeah.
And as long as it is not an issue whatsoever, as long as one of the parties, either myself, him, is not so extreme where they are not open to a conversation about why I believe something.
Okay, and then being
I'm
able
not
to flex
saying
opinions.
that you have to believe in what I do, but I am asking that you respect the understanding of why I choose to believe that.
Yeah.
And then you can still believe it's wrong, but are you willing to listen of why I agree with that?
Right. And then are you able to live comfortably without it being an argument often?
That is something that does not faze me whatsoever.
Oh,
and
really?
honestly, you can have some really fantastic conversations of understanding what someone's reality is and why they so passionately believe something.
True. We had that
and
at
why it's
Serums.
different. Yes.
We literally had that conversation. I bet you our political conversation was over an hour.
Well, yeah, because we were like, what time? 10:07?
Yeah.
Midnight.
11:30,
We were
yeah.
eating wings for 5 hours.
Yeah. We got there at 7 and didn't leave until like 11:45.
But a lot of that at first, it was like, oh, what are you up to?
Yeah,
And then
catching
it
up,
was
fun,
like,
fun.
here's my issue with American society and how they view women. And you were like, same.
It all stemmed from the Barbie movie. I was like, I watched the Barbie movie today, and you're like, men are the worst.
I did not say that
No,
at
I'm totally
all.
kidding. It was a
But
very simple conversation.
See, those conversations are the ones that you can learn from. You can understand what someone else
for sure.
experiences, their view, their worldview.
I would say our discussion never even got heated. Really,
Not at all.
it wasn't like. There were moments where we didn't totally agree on things, but it was always like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't totally see it that way. But it was never like,
Move on.
yeah.
And that's what I think. It's not a matter of actually your political ideologies. It's a matter of your character and how you engage with other people
True.
who have a different viewpoint
True.
from you. So
And
if you're dating
yeah.
someone who is mature and they are educated and they are willing to be an empathetic person who's a good listener, it doesn't matter if they're on the farthest end of the left or right. But extremism in general is a bit alarming to me, maybe just because I don't understand it. Someone who's either extremely far right or left, just like, wow, it shows that you're extra passionate about this. But typically I view that for a smaller margin of understanding if I am closer to the other side.
Yeah. I think you could even boil it down to like being an extremism or being an extremist probably has something to do with your character. And that's probably
That's why I've never had issues with it because, to be honest, I've never dated someone who is a legitimate extremist.
Yeah. If you're
because I'm like not attracted to those type of people who are like, this is the way.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get why you would think that, but maybe I think it's associated with personality as well.
I do too. I think if you're
Easy
completely
peasy.
on a far left or a far right, it probably does intertwine with who you are as a person a bit. And then it also shows you're probably not very understanding of other people's opinions, which is kind of a turnoff, whether you're on the left or the right.
So it's all contextual. Like we talked, it's the outfits are contextual, political ideologies are contextual, and dating someone with it.
And we know everything. Here's your next one. What do you do when a man is adamant about being the stronger gender? Just like all men are better. Like they just are better.
They are.
I fall in love. We have children. I stay at home, cook, clean.
Exactly what I was wanting for my future.
I don't speak unless spoken to.
How perhaps would you define the word strong? Emotionally?
I think I think he...
Because in the gym,
I think he respects
I'm taking you down. If he says he can lift more, game over. If he wants to provide, I'll entertain the conversation.
Go ahead. No, I think it's more like he still respects you, but at the end of the day, there's like this subtle mindset that he has where it's just like, we're just better. Like, we're just better than you. It's kind of a tough one.
Let me just take another step of this. It's interesting. I think I also haven't, there's maybe one relationship where I've been in that position and it was brief and just not a good fit in general.
Yeah.
Men and women are different. They bring different things to the table.
For sure.
There are aspects of strength that I think in character traits that a man can uphold that aren't similar to what I have and what I can bring to the table in a relationship. Yeah. But that is different than someone saying, this is what I want to do. This is what I identify with. This is how I view my masculinity and how I want to provide for. That's different than saying, but with all of these being said, I think that I am elevated or better than you.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying.
So that's not what I'm okay with, because even if someone has all of these traits that I deem amazing and they have more of them, it still doesn't mean they're better. It means they're a very strong person bringing a lot to the table.
Right.
But I can also be on that same level in a different regard.
Yeah.
Bringing things to the table in the relationship. So there is no better or worse. There's differences, and really a strong relationship should be like a strong woman needs a strong man and a strong man needs a strong woman, vice versa.
Okay, I was going to say, adding a variable to the equation, let's say he thinks he's better than you, but he's also totally fine with you thinking that women are better than men. It's like he's just very confident. And he also like truly believes it, but if you're like, no, women are better, then he's just like, get out of here. Like he's okay with you thinking that way.
But I don't think I like the person who even thinks that way in general.
Yeah, okay.
That's what bugs me.
Okay.
It's not, I just wouldn't be with someone who even thinks that it is a competition because they're so different. But I never want my partner thinking one is better than the other, because I don't think, do I think women are absolutely incredible? Yes. Are we better? Yes. Conversation over. No.
Thanks for watching. That's a podcast.
I just think that you have to recognize that they are two completely separate topics.
For sure.
And one isn't elevated over the other.
I think it's a little unbiblical to think that one is better than the other.
That's what I'm saying. So that actually is I would not date someone if they thought even if they thought that I was amazing and I brought a lot to the table, but they still had a sense that they were a more elevated person over me.
Yeah. Just based on gender.
Not okay at all.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I do find myself in some situations being
sometimes I'm naive. Like, men are stupid.
Yeah, that's.
But that does. I'm just and like sometimes it's like women are annoying, right?
Yeah.
There are those times where you have those gender scripts come into your life, and I just think like men are messy, they're disorganized, right? Women are so superior in this regard.
Yeah, I think that's healthy way to look at it, though.
There's a lot of times that men look at women and they're like,
"Dude,
why
are you so catty? Yeah, why are you?"
And there's times that women do that for men too. I'm like, why can't you guys just
figure it out?
Figure it out. That's the main thing I say.
Yeah.
But with all of those different aspects, it still doesn't mean one in general is better than the other.
Agreed. I think we totally agree on that one, actually. I think you worded it perfectly too. All right, here's your last. What do you do? Before we wrap up the conversation, I kick you out of my house.
Still gonna hang out with your mom upstairs. Joke's on you.
Probably.
I'm not leaving.
My mom like offers the downstairs bedroom to me. I'm like, that's where I sleep. We have a room upstairs,
like,
Jack.
Kelly,
you'll be fine.
She gave me candy. She gave me drinks, and I'm gonna go bond with her.
We'll be fine, Jack. You're gonna be okay.
It's only a little cold.
All right, what do you do if you fall for a guy and then find out that he has a kid?
And they're done that.
You know what's funny is this question wasn't even written for you.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. No, the funny thing is,
knocked my microphone.
This was written for a girl named Callie who was supposed to come over last week, but the plans fell through.
The woman before me.
Yep, the woman. The what do you do questions were actually all written for her, but then But
then we hung out and you were like, I didn't know this aspect about your story.
Well, actually, I woke up this morning and I said, it's 11. We were supposed to shoot a
Yeah,
podcast
let's
right
actually
now.
do the backstory to this.
Yeah, let's
is
talk about it
last
real
night,
quick.
Doc was like, hey, actually, no, you didn't invite me. I invited myself and said, hey, we still doing the podcast?
No, you did not. I invited you.
Yeah,
And
but then I
confirmed.
re-brought it back to the
You
table.
confirmed.
Yeah.
Which I was happy about.
So then I was like, 11 a.m., let's do
Yeah.
it. And
Yep.
I confirmed.
Actually, you said 10 a.m. And then I said, actually, let's be safe and push it to 11.
You know what? No, you said, I have some things to take care of in the morning at 11.
Because I had to write the template, charge the batteries, and wipe the SD cards.
My brain was like, oh, he's working. He has an early morning. He's going to be up at 6. I'm like, yeah, man, that's fine.
That was the plan.
I wake up early.
Yeah. Good for you.
Well, I would have slept in because
I'm sorry.
I wake up early, not feeling great. My voice sounds
Raspy.
absolutely. But sidebar from this sidebar of the sidebar.
Yeah.
This isn't how my real voice sounds, but I like it a little bit more. So
It
now
is a little, it's a little deeper than
it's a little
usually
like
is. Sophisticated.
Yeah. Anyways, so then I wake up this morning, get ready.
Yeah.
Freaking Dyson Airwrap my hair.
Right.
Text you, what's your address? I
Yep.
also was kind enough to say, what's your caribou order?
That was very sweet of you. And then I felt
And then
guilty
he
that I woke
straight
up
up ghosted me. So what did I do? I sat alone at a coffee shop, sad. I wasn't because I had books.
Yeah.
I was just reading. He texts back maybe 2 hours later and he's like, so I woke up just now. I slept all of my alarms. Every battery is dead.
Yeah.
And I had been ready.
I know. I feel terrible about it. Not really.
I wasn't.
but
I went to Barnes & Noble.
I felt
got
bad.
another
I felt
beverage.
bad immediately when I woke up, and then I didn't feel as bad when you would text me back like, "Hey, I'm just reading a book. I'm chilling." But I
could have made you feel worse about the situation.
You definitely could have.
It wasn't a big deal at all.
I had an 8:15 a.m. alarm
I felt
set.
stressed for you.
I had an 8:30 alarm set, and I had a 9 o'clock alarm set, thinking, wow, if I'm really tired in the morning, I can at least sleep until 9, because then
That's
I
what I
can wake
did.
up,
Mhm.
and then we'll have 2 hours to charge the batteries, wipe the SDs, write the template, and clear the my SD for
And you also
for
told
the
me last
roadcaster.
night, you're like, don't worry, I'm going to send you something in the AM.
That's what
You're
the
going to
plan.
prep for this.
That was the plan. And then I
Guess
woke up at
what,
11.
folks? Coming into the first time I'm ever speaking or doing something publicly.
Yep.
And he's like, ready to start? 3, 2, 1.
like, let's go.
Welcome to
All right.
Birdwatching. And I'm like,
How
what
do you
even
feel about
is this?
rehearsal service? All right, back to the original question.
Okay.
You fall for a guy.
Yep.
But he has a kid. What are you doing?
Happens to the best of us.
That's true. Not me, but
You know, to be honest, I think my opinion of this situation
is it tainted?
is slightly different than the actual,
Concept.
no,
Oh.
than actually what I did.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking I'm more educated on this subject now. And I'm like, what I did back then, probably not the smartest. I don't think it's a big deal.
Really?
No, but it is a big deal in terms of their family dynamic, what the child is expecting, what they're expecting,
Yeah.
and the intentions you have with the relationship.
Right.
So now I don't view it as like, oh, I unfortunately like someone who's maybe a little bit older and now they have a child and now it's just like, oh, they have their kid that hangs out. I feel like now at this phase in my life, if I were to like someone with a child, it would immediately be a conversation of like, I'm either going to be involved in your family dynamic or I'm not interested in dating you whatsoever.
Same. Yeah.
For the kid, for you, if you're divorced, if you're not divorced, whatever that situation is, I don't think that it should be taken as casually as you like popping in as a girlfriend. I think that it needs to be defined quicker and that you need to take it as seriously as it should. Not actually for the partner's sakes, but for a child involved.
I think for me, and this is truth though, so it sounds a little dark, but I think it would be easier if like the father was either completely out of the picture or like had passed away. That to me, that's like totally fine. I think my biggest issue then is the ex-husband, the ex-boyfriend, the guy who's going to be around, and also the kid being like, "You're not my real dad. I love my dad. Like I don't need you in my life."
I'm not trying to be your dad.
That kind of aspect is a little spooky to me. I also don't love the concept of like, I don't even really love the concept of adopting, like for me personally, because I feel like if I have a kid, I really want him to be like my kid. And if it's adoption or if I start dating a girl who already has a kid,
It's going to be a very different dynamic than if it was your child.
I think there's always going to be that subconscious that's like, I love that kid as my own kid, but I know it's not actually my kid. And that would kill me a little bit.
I just think I probably should have gone into it with a bit more respect for the child's sake. I loved this person's child. She was closer in age
To me than he was to you?
than he was. Little bit of a rough period in life, folks. That's the only bad story you're gonna hear. But no, it was great in a lot of ways. She was so sweet. So she was like, I don't know,
12,
younger than that.
Oh,
8, 9, 10, that kind of range. And great. And super involved with the family, everything like that. But it was also a divorce situation versus like,
and was the mom in the picture?
Every other weekend, but never met, anything like that.
Oh,
Very separate lives. Yeah, but it was fine.
That makes it a little easier. But
redoing it again, though, I spent a lot of time with the kid and had so much fun. But I'm now thinking about how she probably felt for when a year I was over, I was hanging out, I was doing all of these things when she was older, and then we broke up or I was out of the picture.
Yeah.
That would be such a bummer when you like.
Yeah, she probably thought like, when is Lindsey coming back? And
yeah,
the dad's like,
and then
never.
like this person dates someone new, which they totally can. But I just think it's a hard situation for a kid. But I've never been in the place where my parents were dating when I was younger.
Yeah.
But maybe I wish I would have gone into it with. We did wait. I waited like 3 months before I met the kid, 3 or 4 months at that point, which I think was healthy.
Yeah, it's a long time.
I probably would not do it again unless.
It was like the perfect guy,
and also it was, they felt that the situation was that the kid wouldn't be like that. It was, if it was very serious, yes.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it again if it's like, oh, we like each other, let's just date. It would have to be very all or nothing. Like if I'm going to be involved in your family and your children, we are planning on getting married and this is going to be our family dynamic. We're very comfortable with this. Or it's like, it's not worth it because I don't know if I want this. I would have to know that I would want that and vice versa.
I don't know if I could get myself to that point though. Cause either way, if it got to the point where it was very serious and then they sprung it on me, hey, I have a kid, I'd be like, wow, this whole time I didn't know you had a kid. This is weird.
Oh, is that the...
No.
Oh, I was like, that's different. If someone lied to me about not having a child.
I don't think I could ever get to that serious point because at the beginning, I think it would be like, I have a kid. You have a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm willing to get into that. And then I don't think we'd ever get to the point where we're serious.
See, that didn't faze me. And that's what I would do differently is at the time I was like, oh, right, that's fine. We'll figure it out. I think now I wouldn't get to that point, same boat, because I would think, that's serious.
That's what I look at it too. And I'm like,
yes.
Am I willing to get serious with you if you have a kid before I even know like, oh yeah, I could get serious with this individual.
That's why it's the catch-22. Like
it's tough. I don't think I could do it. But maybe as I get older,
but unfortunately, we had personal experience with that. And we learned our lesson.
And I won't do it again.
And I won't do it again.
Yeah. Well, Lindsey, that was actually...
That's how you're going to end.
That actually is the end of the podcast.
La, 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 la.
We'll see you later. No, that was the end of the show. We covered everything.
Wow.
Just want to give a quick shout out to you guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you being here. So sweet of you guys.
You're seeing, I hope everyone we went to elementary school together.
Legacy. Meadow Creek.
Meadow Creek before it transitioned. Yep. I liked Jack for like 9 years. Stopped liking me in 2nd grade.
Yeah,
that was fine.
Yeah, right. She still loves me.
But to all of our fans at Meadow Creek, thanks everyone.
Thanks for coming out. It's good to see you, Jenna, Allison.
Riley,
Tucker.
Fat Five.
I'm sure Tucker's probably just like sleeping right now, but if you're awake, hey bud. And who else do you think is going to watch this?
The people that you sold candy to for a profit in 2nd grade.
Joey Veer might watch actually.
Jason Ford, Andrew Feggie.
Jason Ford will not watch this, I don't think. I think he's alive.
I
think so. I haven't talked to Jason in so long. I used to love Jason, but I haven't seen him since, middle school maybe a couple times in high school.
The OG crew, we thank you all. Who would have thought?
Andrew Feggie's not going to watch this. I think he hates me now. Not hates me, but he doesn't like me.
Yeah.
I saw him at...
Not many do.
Trout Lake Camp. I don't know. Is there like any rules about talking about people? I don't think so. We were at Trout Lake Camp as counselors and he just...
You were a camp counselor?
Yeah. I was a fill-in for a week. I was like a sub.
Oh.
Wore my tight cardigan.
Yeah. Up, kid.
Yeah. No, I remember talking to him thinking, I don't think he likes me. Just like the way that he was interacting.
Weren't you guys besties growing up?
Oh my gosh. Besties.
That's what I thought because it was you and
7th grade, yeah.
Yes, because it was always like you and Andrew, and then it was like us and the Fab Five girls.
You remember Luke Nolden?
Yes, because we went to Kung Fu Panda, and my mom dropped us off, and I had my flip phone at the time, and I texted Luke, and I put a pink strip in my hair, and I met him at the movie theater. Didn't talk for 2 hours, and I was like, that was great.
was awesome. That went really well. Luke Knoll's a cool kid. Esteban Tigan.
Yep.
Trying to think of kids from that. Steven Shoemaker. Whoa.
What?
That was right out of the bag.
See, Andrew Feggi messaged me on Instagram after I haven't heard from him from years and years because about a job opportunity, which is super cool. I was networking, and he was like, hey, my company's actually this. I'm like, nice to see you, man. So I have a much better recent crazy experience with him versus him just not liking you.
Oh, interesting. I know he's married. Did not get invited to the wedding.
Really?
I think so.
No, I didn't either. But might have a job.
Hey, and I don't.
Check out my LinkedIn.
Thanks for coming.
We're unemployed.
Linz, that was super fun. We had a blast today.
We did.
We had so much fun.
This is all I got.
Yep, me too. We'll see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.
Like a prison science teacher talking about the South.